Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season 2 premiere of Star Trek Event Horizon, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition game using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is ELH, the Game Master, and joining me are three lovely individuals who will meet right away, because I'm literally throwing my players into a sandbox and letting them explore. It is the cornucopia of Star Trek. It is the best thing you can do for Trekkies to just say, here's a region of space, go explore. And I can already tell they're eager to break things. So, maybe I'll put up a channel point prediction of how quickly it takes them to break something. Anyway, Peter, who are you playing and anything you want to shout out?
Hey everybody, I'm Peter Petrus Aquinas, and I am playing Lieutenant Commander Giral, the Temerian engineer on the Event Horizon.
All right, Ravenslore, what do you got going on?
Hi, I'm Tony, or Ravenslore. I'm playing the newly promoted official captain, Oliver Mason, the CEO of the Event Horizon. You can see me on various games on a channel called Crucible Gaming on Twitch and YouTube.
I've noticed that apparently OBS has not picked up the Captain Mason in the overlay, but I'll have that fixed by next time. That's an OBS issue.
How
It's
rude.
just happened.
Yeah, it literally just happened like 5 minutes ago off stream, I know.
All right.
But last but not least, Steadfast, what do you got going on?
Hello, Steadfast here, playing Lieutenant Commander Zephyt, who has just been swapped, got up to first officer now because we figured it would be a better role to have. Only shout out this week, I'm copying Techno and Bean. Shout out to the illustrious ELH. Go follow on Patreon and Twitch and YouTube and all the things. Go do all that because it's great and we love it here.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to go ahead and roll the new opening credits that Techno developed for us.
Nice.
Techno did an amazing job, but let's see it firsthand.
Sweet.
And welcome back. And again, thank you to Techno Nerd for going above and beyond with that intro for us. So thank you once again, Techno, for that lovely intro. So, as I said, the players are going to be thrown into a sandbox in a moment, but I think it would be good, mostly from a game mechanical perspective, to briefly go over what everybody spent their milestones on. So we're going to start with Lieutenant Commander Giral. What did Giral use their milestones on?
All right. So Giral used one milestone to add starship construction as a focus, since Giral has been doing a little bit less jury rigging and more by the book stuff to make sure that we don't have any more system failures or Laredo his way out of the dock. So we're trying to avoid that. My Giral's second milestone, he increased his daring by 2. Try to bump up one of those dump stats a little bit because he's had to do some pretty crazy stuff. And then for the arc milestone, we added adaptable energy weapons to the event horizon. So we now have, using the same array, we are now able to fire phasers in addition to our normal, Tetrion weapons.
Ionic.
Yep. So.
Cool. All right. What's going on with Captain Mason?
All right, so Captain Mason is coming into season 2 with a little more focus on command instead of just science. So I shifted some focuses into like diplomacy and negotiation. For milestones, we're embracing the submarine here. So we've gotten rid of experimental vessel on the event horizon and replaced that with reduced sensor silhouette. Mason personally did the reading because he's still a science guy as a talent. And then for the arc milestone, we've added expanded munitions, quantum torpedoes to go to our submarine boat.
All right. And of course, the Event Horizon still has those 4 transphasic torpedoes for your transphasic torpedo needs. I mean, what would you use a transphasic torpedo on, really? I mean,
hopefully nothing.
Yeah, hopefully nothing.
Never, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully we never meet a Borg cube.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can think. Although I said
Was
it.
that threat? Yeah.
That was threat, yes. So
Jack doesn't have the stones
good
to
timing,
get
well, Zephit, what do you got going on? What'd you use your stuff on?
I got quick to action with his elevation to first officer. I want to try to help people out a bit more mechanically. Pathfinder, I also got with our newfound exploratory missions. I feel like we're going to be flying in a lot of completely unknown spaces, so Pathfinder will probably help us not explode. My character arc was simple. I bumped security up, and then I got the other one for being a note taker, which I just bumped control because I use it literally all the time. So.
And yes, side note to anybody who takes notes, your GMs appreciate it when you take meticulous notes and actually have things in your notes that the GM forgot. So This is a PSA, take notes. And GMs, if your players take notes, reward them.
I'm an addict for note taking.
And we appreciate it greatly. But yeah, with that, Captain Mason, I believe you have a brief opening log before I throw you into the sandbox, so take it away.
Captain's log, U.S.S. Event Horizon. Location, the Armstrong Patch in lunar orbit. Mission success. Cygnus Station has been safely deployed to the Armstrong Patch with 0 complications. A marked improvement over our first attempt. All systems report green. The station has assumed its intended orbit without incident. For once, everything went according to plan. Shortly after deployment, we received a brief cordial ping from Oguri 1, a simple acknowledgement of our arrival. No further instructions, no red tape. It seems we're off the leash, with the freedom to chart our own course. The crew is settling in well. Department heads report smooth transitions, and morale is high. After the tensions of the last missions, there's a noticeable sense of relief and quiet optimism on board. Science teams are already preparing survey protocols, while engineering is running diagnostics with enthusiasm. Even the mess hall on the station has taken on a lighter atmosphere. Laughter is back on the menu, I suppose. It's an open sky, and the event horizon is ready. With the patch beneath us and mysteries ahead, the next move is ours to make. Exploration, research, or the unknown. Whatever it is, it begins now.
Very nice. You may have a momentum for that opening log. So thanks to Chad. You are starting at 2 momentum and 8 threat. So thank you, Chad.
Nice.
So, as promised, you are in the Armstrong Expanse. Cygnus Station is currently in orbit above a Class D planetoid. Nothing really fancy about the planetoid. It's just kind of a ball of rock with some basic minerals on it if you really want to go hunting. But the Armstrong patch is yours. You tell me where you want to go, and I have approximate knowledge of many places that you can go.
Nice. I just feel like tactically it's good to try to get a feel for where we are, secure the system, make sure there's nothing weird, and then kind of slowly expand out from there, yeah?
So kind of a concentric.
Right, yeah. Make sure we know everything that is to know in the spot that we're gonna, plop us and Cygnus down for any sort of extended period of time, and then just kind of go in an outward loop.
Right.
Or we could just send out a scan and find the most interesting thing and go take a look.
That's also valid, yeah.
Any stellar phenomena?
Oh, so much stellar phenomena.
Everything, yeah.
Yes.
So the interesting take we have here, gentlemen, is that unlike long-term missions that most ships need to deal with, we have the capacity to travel vast distances, essentially instantaneously. What that means is that we can find a place, perhaps right here, to park the station and go about whatever we choose to do. The system seems relatively safe. The station is relatively well defended. I suggest we find the nearest, most interesting thing and go stick our nose where it doesn't belong.
All right. I am going to scan for the nearest, the strangest phenomenon I can find.
Okay. Let's get you some momentum here. Well, Peter, when the dice fell, we all know what's coming.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a reason and science assisted by the ship's sensors and science.
Right. I do not have a sensors thing here, so that's not going to help.
Difficulty of 1 on this one.
Okay. So there's me.
Okay, no complications. Good. And if somebody can get the event horizon.
And I believe the ship no longer has the complication and focus, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so just 1 success, so no extra momentum, but you are still at 2 by my count. So what that's going to mean is, as what happened in the last episode where Ogre 1 basically gave you a traveler's pamphlet to the Expanse, as it were. Mm-hmm. The most interesting and the most temporal and what's the word I want? The closest anomaly. I can't remember the fancy word for it, but the closest anomaly to you is Visha's tear, and that was the anomaly that messed with you on the way in. But it's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle of the Armstrong patch, where many ships have been lost there. There are so many graveyards of wrecks of ships, previous visitors to the Expanse. If you want to find something, Visha's Tear is probably a good place to start looking.
All right. Well, Captain, the most interesting thing is also the most dangerous. So.
Well, yes and no. We have some insight on how to deal with that particular anomaly, thanks to our friends, right? They have those satellites of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
We've done some scanning on how they went about doing that. Now, we promise not to mess with their devices, but we can emulate them, perhaps.
That is true.
Let me do some calculations, and maybe I can get something for you to work with.
That would be appreciated.
So, what is it you're aiming for with these calculations? How close you can get? A good flight plan? What is it these calculations are for?
Yeah, just to reduce the turbulence that's in there, right? So we'd like to get closer. Like there's probably a ship in there, maybe, or a colony, and we'd like to go visit. But if we go visit without protection, we're probably gonna crash and burn. So
Right. So, the reason I ask is because I think this is going to be a con rather than a science. It is going to be a reason con, so still very good stats for Mason. Um, Technically, you have space-time theory, but your con's a 1, so it doesn't really matter. Difficulty of 2.
oh, but I've done the reading.
Remind me what that does by putting it in chat.
You you're going out of the assumption I've typed it up.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on, I'll look it up real quick.
It's in Discord, but you got to scroll up a little bit.
Wow, I also
Did the
have
reading, when you attempt a task, you may spend 1 momentum to use science on that task instead of the department you would normally use. In addition, you count as having an applicable focus for the task.
Oh. Well, what do you know? Well, go ahead.
And each time you do that in a scene, it goes up by 1.
Mhm.
So I can't spam it.
Okay. So you'll go down to 1 momentum, and you can certainly make that roll. Very good roll for you, in fact. Okay, 3 successes. So you are
Sweet.
going to get an assist from the sensors and con from the event horizon.
Sensors and con.
And I mean, surely you're not going to roll a 20. Peter. Peter. How do you keep
Yeah.
doing this?
Yeah. Welcome to season 2.
Legitimately, I am just amazed every single time I'm about to make the joke. Every single time.
Yep.
Yeah.
What can I say? I deliver.
At least he's consistent.
Consistency. It's good.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We can work with this. I'm just going to take the threat instead of the complication because I don't want you to fall into Visha's tier. That would be very bad. All right, so 3 successes. You do get a momentum back. And what you find, Mason, is that there is a very narrow corridor between external space and Visha's tier. Now, because you are scanning it and looking on the computer what it looks like, Visha's tier is kind of like a particle fountain that has been mixed with a black hole. So you simultaneously have particles being spewing from a point of space, but then immediately being captured by a black hole. And the amount of subspace turbulence and the amount of just general space-time kerfufflery, that's a technical term, kerfufflery, that is why it is so turbulent and why so many ships get lost there. Because if you're not careful and you're not on the ball on sensors and you're piloting, you lose track of where you're flying and oop, you're into the black hole, or oop, you're into the particle fountain.
We do have 2 momentum. Do we want to spend that on a trait like calibrated sensors or?
Yeah. It's probably a good idea.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to spend the 2 momentum, I will give you a trait. Let's call it Visha's sensor tuning. And that'll represent that as long as you are looking at Visha's tier, you have a bit of an advantage, as it were.
Nice.
Cool. So my next question, after you've done all this, are you warping over? Are you impulsing over? Are you coaxial going over? Because technically it's basically the same distance between Earth and... oh god, what is that? The Oort cloud. It's between Earth and the Oort cloud, so it's pretty dang close, all things considered. It's just that it's not immediately visible because it's behind or part of that barrier that the Ogre maintain.
So I feel like that probably gets rid of the coaxial because we don't know where we're going to drop. So that feels like it's dangerous. If we mess that up, then we've oopsie-daisy dropped into a black hole, which would be probably bad.
So we probably want to either impulse this or standard warp.
Yeah.
We're not in a hurry, so
No, I think the safest option is probably impulse.
Okay.
And if it's close, I feel like that's part of the exploration. Take the leisurely route.
Yeah, we get to watch the scenery go by.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's also the stealthiest way we can travel. So
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So we see the Event Horizon flying away from Cygnus Station. Cygnus Station already deploying its runabout to go check out the planetoid below. But after maybe about 20-30 minutes of flying, at least I think that's impulse speeds, you arrive at the barrier that protects the Armstrong patch. And as a reminder, the barrier is maintained by Ogre technology. There are regular sort of capsule-shaped structures that keep out the turbulence and various anomalies in this area of space. But just on the other side of the nearest capsule, you see Visha's tier for really the first time with visual sensors and your eyes, kind of a thing. And what you see is perhaps one of the most beautiful sights you have ever seen in your entire life. Because I'd like you to imagine the grandest light show you have ever seen coming from the particle fountain, and then immediately being captured by the event horizon of the black hole. But rather than a typical black hole where the event horizon is kind of orange and yellow and kind of bright, it's all sorts of colors. It is every single color of the rainbow, and even some in ultraviolet. So those of you with extra sensory perception, you really get to see a light show here. And it's also haunting in some regard, because even when you zoom in on the view screen, you see husks of ships, you see husks of what could have been entire civilizations out there, kind of a thing. To borrow a sci-fi trope for a moment, the collector base from Mass Effect 2, when you fly in, same sort of thing. There are just husks of ships and stations everywhere. And
we.
sorry. No, you go ahead.
I was going to ask, can we see the? You said there's like a tunnel almost.
So there is a very, very narrow tunnel, and the tunnel is actually something you can see. And it's very strange, because what happens is the particle fountain, obviously spews out these particles and gases, etc., etc. But as it gets caught by the event horizon of the black hole, there is almost like a perfect cylinder, just about large enough to fit a sovereign class, that is left normal space.
And does since I'm using my senses and I'm trying to trigger a talent, is that path, does it stay the same, or does it move around, or?
It stays eerily the same.
Interesting.
So we can make a trade out of that thanks to rapid hypothesis. So what, flight path, I guess, or Visha's tier corridor, or something along that line?
Sure, we can get that. We'll call it Visha's corridor. What do we call it? Visha's corridor mapping. That's what we'll use. Cool.
So as a reminder to you guys, if you trigger those, if you do something that use those traits, we get bonus. You guys get bonus momentum.
Cool.
All right.
Very nice.
So what I was going to say is that as you are marveling at the light show and wondering how it is that the corridor is so perfectly shaped, I'm actually going to be spending 2 threat off the bat to say that your sensors are detecting a very, very weak power source coming from one of the nearby husks. Now, as you investigate this sensor scan, what you realize is that this is a Klingon vessel. But this is no Klingon vessel you have ever seen in your life. And I don't mean like, oh, this is a Klingon version of the Event Horizon. I mean that you are detecting tachyons coming off the hull of this Klingon vessel, or what's left of it anyway.
Is it old or new?
Mhm.
Well, considering it's not in your database, I leave that to your imagination.
Do we have the ability to attempt to kind of focus our scans on it from where we are?
You certainly
Or-
can. It would just be a roll.
Yeah, let's see what we can learn.
All right. Well, whoever wants to do the roll, this is going. Well, let me ask this: are you scanning it from a science perspective, a security perspective, or an engineering perspective? Because those are all three separate roles.
Oh, true.
Yes.
Yeah,
I-
correct. yeah.
I mean, I know I said that, and I expected a yes, but
Right.
I just need to know what to give you in terms of a task.
I
Kind of a
think probably the science is, I think, the most important, right? How long it's been there, can we
Maybe.
determine how old the vessel is?
Quantum signature.
Right, yeah, exactly. I feel like that's most prudent.
In that case, I believe, Mason, you have the highest science. So if you would do the honor of a reasoned science here, you definitely have a focus in space-time theory.
Nice.
The Event Horizon will assist you with a sensor science. Because of the nature of Visha's tier, this was originally a difficulty of 4. You have the trait Visha's sensor tuning that knocks it down to a difficulty of 3.
Nice.
Ooh, 3's tough.
Well, did we use all our momentum? We did.
Yeah. Could always give me threat. Threat is always an option.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll buy 1 die.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna roll the ship.
Incoming 20, everybody. Okay, no, 17.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Whoa, look
Hey,
at him
there you go. 4 successes. So you're up to 1 momentum. All right. So, Mason, I have good news and I have bad news. What would you like first?
Oh, I like news.
Okay, just news. Okay. So, the good news, you are dealing with a future ship. It is not a ship displaced from the past. Maybe that's the bad news. Your call, really. The other bit of news is that there is a life form aboard. And the life form is totally not stolen from a recent trailer, reading as both Jem'Hadar and Klingon.
Nice.
Nice.
Is there a distress signal coming off that?
There is no distress call, and from what you can make of the ship, it is functioning on emergency power, and life support is in the process of failing.
Life support critical. Nice. How far is the range of our tractor beam?
Well, that depends on how close you want to get to Visha's tier.
Are we even able to get to a minimum safe distance to tractor beam it without getting ourselves messed
Well,
up?
thanks
I
to
guess-
that handy
yeah.
trait you created of Visha's corridor mapping, the answer is yes.
Good. Okay, that's good. How I guess dead is the husk? Is it actively getting sucked around the kind of event horizon, the black hole, or is it just kind of sitting on the cusp? Like how far into
With
it
a
is it?
nudge, it would fall into the black hole.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if there's any decompression or any sort of
Right.
displacement on the ship itself, problems.
hmm
Okay. Just, I want to preface the rest of this conversation.
hmm
Starfleet protocols and general orders do not require us to attempt to save this person.
Correct. There is no active distress call. That is correct.
No one's asked for help. Technically, because this thing's from the future,
Mhm.
we shouldn't be messing with it.
Right.
Now, I want to make something very clear. There's a person that's going to die if we don't help, so we're going to go help. But we don't have to. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah. No. I mean, I can get the ship there, and we can reasonably save a life. So I think that's. I have no issues with following that order.
Darrell, do you think we should tractor or transport?
I would feel more comfortable using a tractor beam since I do not currently know what effect Visha's tier will have on transporter containment. And while a future vessel may have capabilities that would allow their transporter beam to safely traverse the distance, I haven't done enough tests to know.
You haven't done any tests, so.
Precisely. So tractor beam would be my suggestion.
Okay, let's go get it.
All right. I will break down the roll for you. And this is definitely going to be Zephit rolling this. So
Yep.
Zephit, this is going to be a control security. The ship will assist you with a structure security. And you have to get within close range. But again, you have Visha's corridor mapping. You can do that. The problem is the difficulty. The base difficulty is 2. And what I'm going to reveal is that Visha's tier has a inert trait that is potency 3. So that
Okay.
difficulty of 2 is bumped up to a 5. But again, you have Visha's sensor tuning, bumps it down to a 4. The beauty of traits, everybody. Gotta love them.
Yes. Okay. Now, can I game this? Now I have Pathfinder, so theoretically I could use it. This is definitely unknown territory, right? I can theoretically reduce the task by 3 down to 1, and then just use a value and instant success.
Technically, yes, though you would still have to roll 1 die for a potential
Correct.
complication.
Yeah, very true. And then I do have Navigator, so in the event that I do roll a complication,
You can spend a momentum to ignore it.
spend a momentum to ignore it. I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do all the things. We'll do, I guess, to fly is to defy limits here. We are flying and literally defying limits everywhere that we go based on how the ship is. Yeah. So control security. I have helm operations, astro navigation. If
that would help, yeah.
Yep, and then yes, determination / value, number of dice in pool 2. Would you look at that?
That is a significant number of successes, and you said you reduced it down to a 1, yes?
Yes, yeah.
So that is
we could
4
beat the
momentum
original.
back. You get 5 momentum in your pool. Well done.
Nice.
So with that many successes, I'm going to let you be the GM for a moment. What does it look like as you swoop in and tractor this thing away safely?
Yeah, Zephyr, we have not done a lot of deep maneuvers in a little while, so he's been spending a lot of time in the simulators, both to keep up with it and also because he's kind of getting a little bored. So flying, threading a needle to a black hole to tractor beam a future Klingon vessel is he's like, oh yes. He's like, this is Starfleet, baby. So he really gives it some English and gets over there real quick. Does one of those vibey little drifts to get the tractor beam in the perfect position, and it's all just perfectly timed with all the crew on the ship and Zephyr and Gerald. We time that like kings and get in there, get the tractor beam lock, and get out of danger zone as quick as we possibly can.
Cool. Love it. Also, am I the only one hearing vibrating from something? Something's vibrating. I don't know if that's my end or not.
I think that was mine.
Ah. Okay. Anyway, so you drift in, you tractor beam this thing, and get out of there before you get caught in the lovely event horizon of the event horizon. But yeah, I assume you go to a safe distance, and is at this point that I'm actually going to spend another 2 threat to say at this point the energy source that remains on this vessel finally goes kaput and life support completely fails. You have moments to save this life sign before it is gone forever.
Beam it aboard.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a roll we're doing for the transporters? Or
We have to because it's you, Peter. We have to.
Why did I ask?
We have to. I mean, it's...
Yeah, it's tradition.
This is your redemption. Double ones. Here we go.
Well, now that you've jinxed it.
Oh, shoot, you're totally right.
We're going to see naturals.
All right. Well, this is a control engineering. The ship will assist you with a sensors and science. And the good news is that this is just a difficulty of 2 given the situation.
All right.
But I have 7 threat and it's Peter. I'm going to spend 3 threat to make the complication range a 17 to 20.
That's valid. Nice. Understandable.
Oh boy.
If you wanna value it, we do have 3 momentum, so I could just give you your determination back from executive officer.
For the meta, I'm tempted to use learn from the past, but it doesn't make sense for the character. So, I am going to use solutions come from adaptability because I'm assuming that I'm going to have to use modify the confinement beam and stuff for whatever future material I'm trying to beam through, and then obviously all of the surrounding stuff, even though we're a lot closer and there's less to deal with. So I'm going to use determination there. And then I don't have a focus, so I'm going to do that. And of course, and then let's see what the ship does. Well, the ship does better.
I will do executive officer, so you can get your point of determination back.
Oh, I was also just going to roll my veteran.
Oh,
okay,
true.
Yeah, roll veteran
I guess
first.
you might do that first, yeah.
Which I think is...
And then I will offer you a deal. If you want to use the 2 momentum you just got to buy off that complication, we can just ignore that 19.
Yeah, I would lean towards that unless you want something to blow up in my face. Which is fair.
All right, I think we're using the momentum you just got to save your butt.
I will buy it off, yeah.
Do I get... I think I get my determination back with them.
Yeah, you rolled a 5, so that's
yes,
definitely
you do.
beneath your control, so yeah, you definitely get your determination back. Cool.
Nice.
So, you beam the Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid into your sickbay, and I believe, Steadfast, you were playing the doctor, if I'm remembering correctly?
Yeah, our Tellarite smoker doctor, yeah.
So we'll cut to you momentarily, and then you can interface with the rest of the crew. So appearing on your table is indeed a Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid. Interestingly, they do not seem to be in need of Ketracel white. They do not have like that stereotypical Jem'Hadar pocket in their uniform where they store the white. They do have a uniform that looks like KDF, the Klingon Defense Force, but they also sort of have a little bit of Dominion mixed into the logoing. So you've kind of got a mix between the Klingon symbol and the Dominion symbol. Overall, at least it looks like a he, you don't really know, he looks to be in moderately good shape. He has some very small plasma burns on his cranium, but he seems to just have been knocked out by the fact that he didn't have an atmosphere to breathe.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay. Not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, if this person, I'm assuming, is now in medical, I mean, yeah, she'll immediately begin attempting to diagnose the problem, do all the general scans for first contact, making sure that there's not going to be any sort of problems with any sort of medical stuff that we are going to do. Just get all the basic scans and then see what the problem is and go from there.
Okay. So, this does count as a supporting character activation, so you can buff up her stats a little bit. Give her a talent, give her a value, give her a focus, upgrade one of her stats, etc., etc.
I did just give her triage as a talent.
Cool. All right.
Nice.
So, this is going to be a control and a medicine at a difficulty of 2.
Copy. Now she's got diagnostic expert or exobiology.
Both would apply.
Copy. Let's see. You said diff 2.
Div 2.
I'll give you a set for a 3rd die,
Okay.
just to make sure she has a better chance here.
You
Yes,
have ability to
of course.
reroll that 20.
Yes. No, she does not actually. No, she does
Okay.
not.
Oh.
Well, you still got 2 successes, so this will be interesting. So, you run your tricorder over this hybrid. You can confirm that they just need atmosphere and they'll wake up on their own. The complication is going to be they wake up on their own, immediately lunging arm out to grab you by the scuff of the collar and bring you in very, very close to say, "Your captain, I need to speak with them." And then they pass out again.
Okay, she'll be like, didn't even say please. What a jerk. Okay. She'll press the little comm badge, or just shout across the hall, Captain!
What?
Yeah. The patient woke up and choked me and wants to talk to you. And then it passed out again.
Oh, what fresh hell is this? All right, I'm on my way. Jarrell, just before I take off, Starfleet regulations are clear that because this is a future vessel, we should not know anything about it.
I will scrub the logs.
That said, I am going down the hall now, and I might shut the bulkhead behind me while I'm in the med bay.
Zephyr will follow and put security outside the door, but also come in.
You are the security to post outside the door.
Yeah. Our Orion guy has to stand outside the door every once in a while.
Oh, right, yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he gets
Stretch
to
his
move from
legs.
closet 1 to outside
Yeah,
of closet
outside
number 2.
of closet 2. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, because it's funny, before we do the whole scene with Mason and Zephyr, Jaral, do you take Mason's hint and maybe scan something you shouldn't? Tell you what, let me actually look at your values. Maybe I could tempt you with a value here. Hold on.
This could be a
I tell you what, if you break Starfleet regs and use the value respect the machine, understand the machine, you will get a point of determination.
Let's do it.
Okay, you'll go up to 2 determination then. And it is of note that that extra point of determination stays across sessions. So, for example, if you end today's session with 2 determination, you stay at 2 determination next session. Just something to keep in mind.
Nice.
So, we'll just narratively say Jaral maybe pushes a few buttons he really shouldn't. And we'll get back to that in a moment.
No one saw me.
Oh, look at that. The sensor readings have a 1-minute window where they just didn't work. Oh, no.
That's so weird.
So weird. Anyway, with Mason and Zephyr, at this point, your doctor has been able to stabilize the patient. The patient is coming around again. This time they are a little less violent. They actually calmly sit up and look around. And they, of course, focus on you, Mason, because you have the most pips. Their eyes narrow. And they kind of scratch at their neck a little bit and say, Starfleet, circa 2394?
Close enough.
My name is Hoch, and if you need me to spell it, I'm not going to do so.
Understood.
You're in the wrong place.
I realize, but you have also saved me a grave dishonor of dying to a space anomaly rather than battle.
I don't care.
Valid. Yeah. Understandable. That's
Right.
neat. Did I ask?
I'm fine.
I think
I'm
you
fine. I'm
broke
okay.
the GM.
I'm okay. I'm okay. All right, we're good. We're good.
That's great.
Well, if you do not care, why did you save me?
You're a living creature. You need to be safe, but you shouldn't be here. You're in the wrong time, and everything that you say or do can start messing with timelines. Your very presence here is actually it's a giant pain in my ass.
Yet you have
So we
saved
should
me all
fix
the
this.
same, which means I owe you a debt.
Oh, great. I have a lot of questions. None of them I'm allowed to ask. Um, how do I get you home?
That is the complicated matter. I can only assume that you have saved me from a remain of my vessel. Most of my vessel, which permitted me to travel through time, is no longer with us. It has fallen into the black hole.
We have the rest of it,
I would need to
if
see
that
sensor
helps.
scans and determine what technology is left aboard.
You feel up for a walk? It's a solid 35 feet to the bridge.
He immediately swings his leg off the biobed, hops down, maybe cracks his neck a little bit, cracks his knuckles, and says, I would be eager to see this vessel. Hold on. And he sort of narrows his eyes as you step out into the corridor, and he looks down the closet-filled corridor, and he looks back at the med bay. Hold on, I believe I've heard of this vessel.
No, you
The
didn't. Don't
Don't
even.
do that.
No. Shut your damn mouth.
Stop
Go to
talking.
the bridge.
the Event Horizon. Yes, I've heard of it. Federation's first coaxial prototype.
Oh God.
Well, that is fortuitous. You actually possess the technology to take me home, even if my vessel does not.
Shit.
So we're famous. That's good.
Well, being a prototype doesn't make you famous. It just makes you first.
Well, in the interest of not contaminating the timeline, I shall not say why you are famous, only that you are.
All right. Well, let's go to the bridge. There's more room than the flats.
So, Gerald, you finish doing the scans you were totally not supposed to do, and then moments later the door opens, in comes Mason, the Klingon hybrid. In fact, I think Lacrazi actually got it pretty close in chat. Like, if you wanna somehow say it phonetically, I think that's probably pretty close.
Nice.
But they come in with Zephyr as well, and I think Captain Mason, if I read the room, you're going to tell Gerald to scan. Am I correct?
Well, we have to help this gentleman, and we need to, unfortunately, against my better judgment, perform an active scan on his ship to determine what technology he has available.
Mm-hmm.
This will have to stay between us, of course. Reduce the threat to the timeline.
Charles just kind of nodding.
All right, Gerald.
Pushes.
Actual button push and actual roll this time.
Yep.
This is a Reason Engineering, assisted by the Event Horizon's Sensors and Engineering. Because it is a future vessel, it is a difficulty of 4.
Yep.
Interesting.
I will help that. I will assist.
Okay, well, just so you know, because the ship is the first assist, you would have to spend the 1 momentum for the second assist.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to spend a determination on this because I am smarter than Jerome.
Okay.
Very nice.
Someone needs to hold his hand while he does his complex thing.
Okay. So, I mean, that automatically makes your roll a 2, so you already have 2 free successes as an assist.
I'm going to use my focus of reverse engineering.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with stuff that I don't fully understand.
Okay.
So
And that is 5 successes. So,
Nice.
yeah, you get a momentum back. So you stay at 3 momentum. Well done. So, what is it you want to know about this vessel? Because with that many successes, you can know almost anything there is to know about this vessel. But the question, because you're avoiding it, is how much do you want to know?
How much do I want to know?
I mean, you are the one making the scan, yes.
Yeah.
And technically, Mason is over your shoulder, being, I'm smarter than you.
That is true.
It
which
is
means
true.
which means he's going to be able to read anything that I do. So, well, since I don't really know what I'm looking for, other than technology to help take Hoch home, because I wasn't part of the conversation where I heard that our technology works with it. I'm going to be scanning for propulsion systems, and also for anything that shows any sort of tachyon energy fields, or what's the other temporal particles?
Chronoton.
Chronoton. I'm looking for a chronoton generator of sorts.
Okay. Well, I have good news because you got 5 successes, and it just happens to be Hawk's lucky day. Yeah, there is indeed a single intact, powered down, of course, chronoton generator. It is something you've never really seen before. It is definitely advanced future tech that is generating these chronotons. You see something that resembles a temporal deflector, what remains of it anyway. And you also see the indications that his vessel might have possessed both coaxial and dilithium reactors. But you're not 100% sure because there's only so much of his ship remaining.
I mean, this is news to me, so... Captain, there appears to be a coaxial drive on board this ship.
Which makes sense. I would expect they would have this technology figured out relatively soon.
I could
Fair
tell
enough.
you when, but that would violate the timeline.
That's true. Good job. Did they crow you or... I'm sorry, don't.
Rawl
Go
is
ahead.
curiosity pressing, but I won't.
Hawk simply just grins very wide, and they're very Klingon teeth.
How many liver? I'd say.
I have 3 livers.
Yeah, 3 livers.
That means he can outdrink you, Captain.
It's a lot of livers.
You can outdrink me.
True.
I can also throw you through a bulkhead if I so chose to.
I have people for that.
Oh yes, your security officer, Lieutenant Commander Zeffet. I am aware.
How do you know? Don't answer. Never mind.
Here is the stuff that you have on your ship that is still potentially working.
Takes the data
And the
pad,
data
looks at
pad.
it. Oh yes, we have a chronoton generator. That is all I need to use the event horizon to get home.
You don't need the temporal deflector?
It would help, but you have a coaxial drive, and that is all that is required.
Wait a minute. What is your plan here?
And he points out the view screen at the particle fountain part of Visha's tier. You are going to coaxial warp into there for approximately 3.56 milliseconds. You will then engage a transport to the following coordinates, which will transport me to Kronos, and then you will detransition from coaxial space back into what I assume is the Armstrong patch.
Assume it's the Armstrong patch. Has this thing moved? And never mind.
I have many things I wish to tell you, but obviously we are at an impasse.
Did you bump your head when you fell over?
No, I have a very thick skull.
Because that doesn't sound like something I could justify doing.
Well, the alternative is keeping me here, which I believe would also be in violation of your temporal prime directive.
I mean, there's a lot of directives. I don't know how it is in your day, but like there's lists and lists of the damn things.
It does not
They
get
contra-
better. It gets worse.
they contradict each other too. Like they
Yeah.
There are
just
7 different versions of the temporal accords. All of them valid
Okay.
at the same time.
All right. So I guess this might be a looping question, and don't answer it too heavily. What action do we take here that is the correct action from?
And I think he just looks at you and smiles.
Right. Okay. Got it. Because technically, we can't interfere or alter, right, any sort of events that would have occurred, right? We can't know what the correct event is, so we can't know exactly which one we are altering or not altering. But logic would suggest, based on our crew and how we operate, we probably wanted to attempt to get him back to where he is, or where he came from. So if we're thinking in a cyclical way.
see. The interesting thing is, regardless of what we decide at this moment is the decision that we made, or
Correct.
he wouldn't be here.
Correct.
I could
Well,
give you a
according to
crash
some
course
theories of
on...
quantum mechanics, perhaps not.
I could give you a crash course on temporal mechanics, Captain Mason. For once, I believe I am smarter than you.
Unlikely.
Just see Gerald kind of turn back to his control panel.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible you're more learned and I am more ignorant,
Nice.
but it's unlikely that you're smarter than I am.
Have you discovered the whoopee cushion in your command chair yet?
Zephyr,
That's not
Right.
fair.
why are you laughing?
It's a joke. He's joking. It's not real. Don't look. It's a joke. He's messing around.
I'm spending
It's
2
crazy.
threat that Techno Nerd just gave me. There is indeed a whoopee cushion, and it says "Love Zephyr."
It was before we knew exactly who was going to be in the command chair. It's part of it. It's not a big deal. It's a okay. I'm sorry.
Zephyr on his way to China.
Yeah.
Alcatraz, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh no, what's the
We just-
Kung Fu Hustle meme? Take him to Detroit or something?
Yeah.
Can't believe I made you the XL.
Yeah.
And you put a whoopee chair. Anyway. Right.
I forgot it was there.
Options. How do we get you home without risking my ship and my crew?
Well, the alternative is to allow me to use your Cygnus station to build a temporal craft, which would probably violate more rules than have already been broken.
It's very tempting, though.
I wouldn't mind watching that, but I'm sure I would get put in a cell for the rest of my life.
Once we got home, yeah, probably. See, the thing with these temporal directives is, at the end of the day, gentlemen, we can decide to do whatever we want, and if no one shows up to stop us, it's fine. Right?
The benefits of being on the frontier where no one else can get to us.
But some time traveler, if we mess something up, will show up and say, "Oh, wait, don't hit that
Right.
button,"
We'll
because
get yelled at for it. Yeah.
it's happened like 7,000 times in Starfleet history.
Gerald peeks out the view screen to look for a floating blue box.
There's no TARDIS. There's no Doctor in whatever
Okay.
incarnation you favor. Though I believe David Tennant actually makes a cameo just as David Tennant on the Cygnus station, just because I like David Tennant there.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, +1. Promote that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, to hell with it. Figure out how to make this happen.
Very good.
Yeah.
I need access to your coaxial closet as well as my chronoton generator.
Is the chronoton generator safe to be beamed over?
Well, yes, I can give you specifications to safely beam it over.
That would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
All right. So, I'm not going to have you roll for this one because it would seem really mean to roll a complication here. Really mean.
Yeah.
But he gives you a set of very specific coordinates on his vessel, and you beam out a very specific component. And for lack of a better descriptor, it kind of looks like a plasma ball, like the kind of thing you did as a child where you put your fingers on it and the little plasma streaks come out. And yeah, it looks like one of those. It's currently powered off, but he shows it to you, Jural, and says, I need to plug this into your carburetor.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to tell you the science behind this process, but I am going to trust that you destroy this chronoton generator once you beam me home.
Yes.
Very good. Commander Mason, down the hallway. I am sending you a set of coordinates via this data pad you handed me earlier. Please make sure the coordinates are locked and ready.
Sure. Zephyr, you're up.
Yup.
Don't kill us. And if you get us trapped in the future where there's Klingon Jemadar hybrids everywhere, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, that would
You
I'm
can
going to
try.
pass it, kick your ass. I'm
Yeah.
talking to my officer here.
Oh, yeah, no.
Well, I will also kick his ass.
Perfect.
What? Why do we... What's going on?
I don't know. I'm
happening?
trying to bond with people. I'm told it's one of my weaknesses.
That's... Okay. It's a lot to unpack.
He'd make a hell of a hockey player. Holy shit. Klingon Jemadar.
Do you wish to know who wins this year's tournament?
No.
Can I tell you what they rhyme with?
No.
What if I told you that in 23, and then, like, I'm just
What if I
imagining,
start-
like, Mason shutting the bridge door as frantically as possible.
He takes his hockey very seriously.
Jural looks at him. Was that an attempt at teasing the captain?
At humor, yes. I understand that
Nice.
hockey is one of his most high esteemed pastimes.
Seems like
that would
you know a lot about us. It's interesting. Don't say
As I
anything
said, you
more.
are famous. I cannot tell you why.
Yep. Okay, thank you. All right, well let's do this. The longer we have to talk to this guy, the weirder it's gonna be. So.
All right. So this is a two-pronged task. If either of these tasks fail, weird or bad things happen. Potentially both weird and bad. We'll find out together.
Yes.
So the first thing you have to do is Zephyr. You have to fly into the particle fountain part of Visha's tier and engage coaxial warp.
Okay.
Now, as I pull open the technical manual, here it is. So, normally this would be a control and science assisted by the ship's engine science. However,
Okay.
the precision involved, it is now a daring and con assisted by the ship's engine science.
Okay.
The difficulty is a 5.
I think you used the momentum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still have Navigator, which I could spend one momentum to ignore a complication. I've got Bold, so I think I'm gonna thread it so I get the reroll.
Okay. Well, you just got a momentum from chat. Thank you, Arwen.
Thank you, Aaron.
Let's do. You said diff 5.
Diff 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Why don't we do 2 momentum, 4 threat for a full boat? That way I get rerolls available.
All right.
Yeah. And I've got helm operations or astro navigation.
Both would apply as focuses.
Copy. Let's see what we get.
Well, there's your
Hey,
5. There's a
there we
point
go.
from Event Horizon. Do you want a crit fish? That's 16.
I'm not
Yeah.
rolling it, so go for it.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Oh, there you go.
You get another 2 momentum. Well done. So, again, Zephyt, you've been bored, as you've said. Just not a whole lot of fancy flying. Now, all of a sudden, you're flying into the event horizon of a black hole to tractor beam something. Now you're flying into a particle fountain. Like, the pilot in you, best day of his life. Best day of his
having a
life.
blast.
But for everybody else, what it looks like is you fly in to the spewing of gases and particles and other phenomena, and then you transition into coaxial space for the 3.56 milliseconds that Ha indicated. And this time, coaxial space looks very different. Usually it's that kaleidoscopic blue that sort of just extends out forever. This time, it is the same rainbow spectrum coming out of the particle fountain and around Visha's tier. So you still have that kaleidoscopic effect, but now it is rainbow, prismatic is the word I want. It is now a prismatic field. And now comes the second part. Giral, as your transport task, this is a control and engineering. The Event Horizon assists you with a sensors science. The difficulty is 6.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Now, I should clarify that I'm not just throwing you at a 6 because of giggles. The initial was a difficulty of 5. Visha's tier, potency 3, raises it to 8. You have the trait of scans, so it lowers it down enough to a 6.
Yep. Okay. Well, I am going to burn 1 point of determination.
Okay.
I have 2 to burn.
Yeah.
And I am going to do respect the machine, understand the machine, because I have to understand this this chronoton generator to an extent. And let's see. So that's that. I'm going to use 3 momentum to give myself 2 extra dice.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can eke out here. My computer's focus come into play since I'm
I'm looking at your focuses too.
Is it possible for me to throw in an assist here that might fire Navigator again to fly into a correct location so that in the event that a complication happens, we at least
You would have to spend 1 momentum for the extra assist.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And that brings us to what?
Does
2
bring you to
momentum?
1, which will allow you to ignore a complication.
Yep.
So, Peter, I'm looking at your focuses. The only one I can give you that would apply is reverse engineering, but the caveat is you don't destroy the chronoton generator.
Oh, if I do it that way? I mean, I can always destroy it later.
Could always keep it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that focus.
Okay.
The mission's off the record anyways.
So, because I at least want to succeed, and then we'll see what we do with that later. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Who is he? This is not Peter. What is this?
Whoa!
What is this? And then, yeah, Zephyt, you get a roll too because you assisted.
What do you
Daring Con for you.
Daring Con, cool.
Here comes the 20. No, another none. So
Wow,
that is
look at us go.
8 successes. You get 2 momentum back. And yeah, Giral, as far as you can tell, the transport is successful. And moments later, Zephyt, you pull the Event Horizon out of that prismatic space. You are back outside Visha's tier. Everything looks the same. Signal station's where it should be. You're not green or some color you shouldn't be. Transport successful. Timeline restored? Question mark.
And I am standing there in the closet looking at the chronoton generator. I'm gonna walk back to the bridge.
Just leave it there attached.
Just for now.
Okay.
Captain, would you walk with me for a second?
Of course. Zephyr, you have the bridge?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to lead Captain Mason over to the carburetor closet, open the door back up, and I'm going to point at the chronoton generator. Like, we did not destroy it upon use. It is still with us. So we have two options. We can hang on to it in case of a rainy day, or we can destroy it, as Hoch suggested. The engineer in me would love to hold on to it, but I know that the temporal prime directive probably prohibits that.
Our particular temporal prime directive has a lot to do with affecting things in the future more than affecting things in someone else's past. The verbiage is pretty strong. Is the engineer and you at all concerned about damage to this ship if you remove that generator from the carburetor after we've made such a big jump?
I will need some time to make sure that it will not damage the ship upon removal.
Your concern is noted. We'll leave it there for now.
Understood.
Keep me posted.
Gerald then starts pushing some buttons to do a couple of power diagnostics and a few scans.
Reasonable deniability.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
We can also flavor, right, the Event Horizon's mission is to ensure the integrity of the Federation by any means necessary. This could be a means that might become necessary. Yeah.
This could be a necessary means, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to tell you this now because it might not occur to you as a player, but if it does, congratulations, you've thought ahead of me. Technically, with a chronoton generator like this, you could make temporal shielding. And temporal shielding is something the Federation does possess at this juncture because it is on the Protostar classes. So you could use this chronoton generator to make temporal shielding. Just something I want to throw out there as a potential long-form project.
I was thinking we could tap it into our adaptable energy weapons.
And make a chronoton beam? I like that idea too.
Ooh, yeah.
Literally just Krenim worshipping everything, just showing up and then just phasing people at a time. Just, whoop, gone.
Not real.
Next time the
Romulan
Romulan Event Horizon shows up, you just go whoop at a time.
Stop that.
You never existed. Blasphemy.
Just gone. All right. Well, I have two scenes that I want to play out real quick before we end today's session. Okay. The first one is that when you guys get back to Cygnus Station, whenever that may be, Koku is already at the airlock going, I want to see it.
See what?
What is she talking about?
The totally legal thing that you have that is not in violation of any temporal prime directives.
Starfleet directives are very clear that the life of the crew and the safety of the ship is paramount above all things outside the prime directive, and I don't think that thing can think. So,
well, yeah, I mean that's why I'm here, because I'm totally wink, making sure the ship is safe.
Gerald's going to lean in. I don't know if you're talking about anything in particular, but I do have a shiny thing, the carburetor closet.
Oh, of course. I mean, and the carburetor's a temporary piece of technology, Captain. I have to make sure that the carburetor doesn't break, because if that breaks, we're not getting home.
Last I checked, Coco, you haven't got qualified yet. So you don't get to play with the shinies until your qualification's done.
Sir, I'm literally smarter than you.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
But there you are standing in the airlock while I'm in the ship next to the closet.
Right.
You make a valid point.
Not always
sir.
about intelligence. Yeah.
Would it help if I said please?
It would help if you got qualified.
Tell me what I have to get qualified in, and I'll have it done by this afternoon.
I'll send you a list.
She nods, takes your list, departs. The second scene I want to play out is in the far future, where Ha returns to Kronos. And Ha goes home to a loving family. He has little Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid family. Nice, good for him. But one of his kids is like, Dad, so did you go see the Event Horizon? Like it's told in all the stories? Yes, son, I did. And it was just as glorious as all the stories said. Did you tell Mason about who was going to win the hockey championship? No, son, I had to keep to the Temporal Prime Directive. He would have been very furious if I spoiled that for him. But doesn't that break the story? It's okay, son. We can modify stories. And the very last moment before we stop today's session is that tucked with the Chronoton generator is just a tiny little isolinear chip that may or may not have a very HD recording of that year's hockey championship. Just a very small detail there. That is where we'll end
Toronto
today's
didn't win
session.
again. I knew it.
But no, I'm glad it sounds like everybody had fun, because I've wanted to do a temporal thing with you guys for a while, and I figured this was the perfect moment. Once you said, oh, I want to go check out Visha's tier, temporal instantly. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, Dust Carter, you do have a point. I think if Mason met Albert Einstein, Mason would still tell Einstein that he needs to get qualified. I do agree with that.
Hey, either you're qualified or you're not qualified. That's the way it works on a submarine.
You're not wrong. All right, well, Twitch stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.